Welcome back to yet another Britgrid intermediate Blender class, and today we're going to be carrying on with making our modular windows. We're going to be focusing on creating the brickwork that runs up the corner of the building. So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is select one of our square kind of side modular windows, the one where the window is kind of slightly offset, and you'll notice that I've enabled snapping, and I've got it set to vertex and closest. Now with our window selected, I'm just going to press the / key on the number pad, which just isolates this single window. It just allows us to view a single window. So what we're going to do is go into edit mode. We're going to select our corner vertex, and I'm just going to snap the cursor. So I'm going to mesh, snap, cursor to selected. Now I'm going to shift duplicate that vertex. I'm just going to right click so it snaps back. And now I'm going to extrude that on the X direction. So I'm going to press E to extrude, and then X for the X direction. I'm just going to extrude that out a little way. Now I'm going to do exactly the same again. I'm going to extrude it, but I'm going to extrude it in the Y direction. So E for extrude, Y for Y. I'm just going to move it up here and snap it to where the vertex is on the top corner. And same thing again. I'm going to extrude it on the X direction again. So E for extrude, X for the X direction, extrude it in. So now I'm going to press L to select those vertices, and I'm just going to move them away from the main window. I'm going to join. I'm just going to select these two vertices here, press F to make an edge. I'm then going to press L with my cursor over the vertex to select all the linked, and I'm going to press F for face. Now I'm going to go into edge mode. I'm going to separate this into its own separate mesh. So let's do that now. So I'm going to go up to mesh. I'm going to go down to the separate option, or you can press the letter P. So I'm just going to say separate selection. So that has now made it its own mesh, which if I can go into object mode and select it. So we're just going to edit that now. So back into edit mode, into edge mode, select the nearby edge there, and I'm going to press Ctrl R, and I'm going to scroll my mouse, and we're going to put 9 cuts into it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 cuts should give us 10 segments. I'm going to press enter a couple of times on that just to accept it. Now what we need to do is I'm going to go into face selection mode, press C, and just select all those faces apart from the bottom one, and just press right click to accept. Press the delete key, say delete faces. So let's concentrate on this piece here. This is what's going to make up our 2 bricks. So edge select again, Ctrl R, enter. So that's given us what will be our 2 bricks. Now I'm going to select, I'm going to go into face select and just select this top one. I'm going to press Y on the keyboard, the letter Y, which will separate the 2 faces from each other. So if I press Y, you can see that that's now separate. I'll control Z that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the edge on this piece, and I'm just going to move it in a bit. Let me just take that snap off there. So just by a kind of arbitrary amount, something like that maybe would look good. Now what we want to do is we want to select both these faces. If I zoom in a little bit, and now we're going to extrude them on the Z direction. So we can go to the extrude region button, press it, just extrude that up in the air a bit. And now what we're going to do is, if I go back to selection mode, I'm going to select those 2 faces and we're going to go to inset them. So press the I key, just going to inset them a little bit like that, maybe like that, and then I'm just going to pull those up in the air. Like that. So now we can go back to object mode. I'm going to go to, let me go to vertex mode. I'm just going to select this bottom corner, press L for linked vertices, and then in object mode I'm going to move that with the G key. So I'm going to go G to move, and then I'm going to press X to make sure it moves on the X direction. So let's have a go at that. So G and then X, and we can move it across here, and hopefully if we make sure our snap is turned on, G and X, let's see if we can snap it to this corner. Yep, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that, but I'm going to duplicate it on the what would be the Y direction, the green direction. So let's change that to active element. Okay, that didn't work. Doesn't matter. So let's try duplicating it. So we're going to do Shift D to duplicate. I'm just right clicking to stop the movement, and then G, and then we're going to move it on the Y direction. So I press G and then I'm going to press Y. I'm going to move that, and we'll see if we can snap that again. So G, and we'll move it on the Y axis. Y. We're just going to move it down here. See if we can snap it on. Yep, there we go. And we can make life easier for ourselves, because we can just duplicate both of those now. So select them both, Shift D, right click, then I'm going to press G and then Y to move it on the Y direction, and let's see if we can snap that. So G and then Y and then move it. There we go. And how many have we got there? So let's do the same thing again. So Shift D to duplicate, right click, G and then Y, move it, and then we'll zoom in a bit. So we'll do G and Y again, move it. There we go. And in fact I think we've got room for just 2 more. So let's select those 2. Let's go Shift D, right click, G, Y, move it, zoom in a bit, just make sure it's accurate. So G and then Y, and move it, and we just need to check to make sure that we're not out by a mile. So let's go into edit mode. Edit mode, there we go. And I'm pretty sure that that's spot on. So we can, let's go back to object mode. I'm just going to select all these different objects. And I'm going to join them together. So with the last one highlighted, to object and then join. So that's done that. Perfect. We might well have a look at texture in it. So I'm just going to pull out my side window here so you can see what I'm doing. Now what we can do is, if I go to our texture material, and what we want to do is we want to go to the wall texture. Let's go onto the shader editor. Let's select that one. We'll go onto we'll change to the shader editor. So here we've got our shader, and what we want to do is we want to make a copy of this. So I think what we can do is, if we go to this little number, it will tell you how many objects are using that data. Currently it says 19 because we've got our brick texture assigned to our other bits of mesh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the button just to make it a single use texture. Then I'm going to, and that's called wall 01, so I'm going to call it something different. Corner. I'm going to call it wall corner. Wall underscore corner. There we go. So now what I want to do is, see, we've got a multiply in there. I don't think we necessarily need that. What have we got? Let's make that a bit bigger so you can see. We've got a roughness. Where was that going? That's going into the base colour. We've got this one which is roughness, and that one which is a normal map. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to probably colour. Don't know what that multiply is doing. What's that? That's a single image. I wonder which single image that is. Roughness image. Okay. Let's delete that node. Let's. What's that one doing? Roughness. We'll keep that. We'll keep the normal map. Right. So let's have a look at this colour map. So we can go to open. We can go to textures. Let's see if we can change it to a preview. How do we do that? On here, I think. Maybe thumbnails. Yeah. So what we want is we want an albedo. So we'll open that image so that can go into the base colour. We can, let's worry about that one later. this one was for roughness, so we can click on open. We can go to our textures folder, and we've got a roughness one, which is that one there. So open image. So that's given us our roughness, and we can play with the. We'll play with that in a minute. Then I'm guessing this is our normal map. So we can click on open. We can go to textures, and we can choose our normal map for that one. And we probably not sure we need that one. Let's get rid of that. And what we need to do is we need to assign that texture to these bricks. So let's see how we can do that. Let's go back to our shader editor, our properties rather. Back into properties. And we've got wall, oh yeah, we've got wall corner there. So can we see if we can copy that? Let's see if we can copy it to the active material, active mesh. So let's select that one. Copy material to selected. Paste material. So let's try copying that material. Copy material. Let's go into this one and see if we can paste that material. Paste material. No, that didn't work, did it? Funny enough, it didn't seem to work last time I tried it either. Don't know how you would do that. I think we'll just cheat. Let's just cheat, shall we? So what we can do is we can go to the, select that one. We can go to the shader editor, because this is our wall corner texture. We can just box select it. We can do let's try copying it. Let's try selecting that one, and let's try doing a paste. Right click and paste. Yeah, that's done it, I think. Let's delete these nodes. So B for box select all of those. Let's delete those. Have we deleted the wrong one? Control Z. I think we might have deleted the wrong one there. What texture is that? Okay, well that looks to be correct. So let's delete this one. Oh, Control Z. My mistake. B for box select all of that. Just delete that. So this is now called wall, but it's subtly different to our other wall. So let's call it wall corner. Wall corner 01. Can we call it wall corner? We should be able to. Wall corner. Right. Let's go down to our properties panel. Let's go to, oh, we need to unwrap this. So let's go edit mode. We can do U for unwrap, and we can do a smart UV project and just say OK. Okay, well that's an interesting technique. So let's have a look at our UV map for that. UV editor. And we need to change the texture. We need to change it to I think probably that one. And I think we probably, I might just do that slightly differently. I might reset the, let's do project from, no, let's do, let's go to object mode and apply all transforms. Let's do U, can't do that, need to be in edit mode. Go back to edit mode, U, we'll do a reset on it, we'll do U, and we'll do can't do a project from view, let's do a smart UV project. Stretch the UV bounds, that looks okay. Although there's some rather strange things going on there. But what we can do is we can put our corner point down here in the corner. We can then B to box select that. Let's take that off. Let's scale it on the 2D cursor. Let's go scale it in the X direction. We'll just stretch that out a little bit. For some reason that has got a wrong texture in there, so we'll just look at that. So let's go back to our shader editor. Just make sure that we've got these textures correctly assigned. So let's see what this one is. That's the albedo, that's fine. What's that one? That's the roughness, that's fine. What's this one? That one is the normal map, that's fine. So I'm wondering why we're seeing those rather strange. Yeah, I'm not sure that I think we maybe need to go back to edit mode. Oh, we are in edit mode. Okay, let's go back to our properties. All corner, let's just say assign. That's better. And we can get rid of, in object mode, if we go back to object mode, we can select these other textures and just get rid of those materials rather. And that one should be back to the brick. Okay, I think we've changed we've changed our wall texture. It doesn't matter. We can fix that. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to probably, so let's go back to this one and we'll change it back to our brick texture. So we'll rename it. We'll just rename it wall. And we need to just change these texture parameters. So we can go into the shader editor. Essentially we'll just go up here and we'll delete these assignments, these texture assignments. We no need to unwrap it because we've already done that. So we can say open, go into textures, we can choose our albedo, say open image. We can open that one, go into textures, and this one is the roughness, so that one, I think it's that one. No, it's not, it's that one. Open image. And then we've got our normal map, so open, textures, and we'll go back to our normal map, that one, so open image. So that's put back to how it was previously. Now what we can do on these is we can actually give this a colour, give it a tint, so maybe a slightly, maybe a tint, can we give it a tint? Maybe we can't. It's interesting. Ah, that's a subsurface colour. My mistake. So let's probably want to put a mix. Probably want to put a mix node in there. Let's do mix RGB. Stick that in there. Right, okay. So, can we change this color value? Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna tweak that a little bit. And I think our roughness may be a little bit too harsh there. Don't like the fact that that is quite so shiny as it is. So maybe it's because it's got, I think it's because it's got loads of specular on it. Let's take that specular off. It's not doing very much, is it? Perhaps we'll put that into specular. I'm really just playing with this now, just to see if I can achieve an effect I like. I'm just wondering if that texture is somewhat too big. So I may go back to the editor, the UV editor, and go into edit mode. I might just scale it on the X from the 3D cursor, so scale on X. I'm just going to pull that across, because it kind of was halfway across, wasn't it? Just trying to get an idea of what it does to the texture scale. I also don't like the fact that there's what looks to be a huge chunk missing off there. Wonder where that huge chunk is. Let's see if we can spot it. might be the normal map. Just pressing. Ooh. Let's go back to object mode. And go back into edit mode. And alpha linked maybe. It doesn't like that, does it? Let's go into wireframe mode and just box select all of that. Let's just try and move that. See if I can get a better. See, now it's moved that, so it'll be somewhere else. I might just scale it down a bit. Yeah, I like that more. Okay. Right, so anyway, in theory, let's go back to properties. I'm just going to move that back over. And I'm going to go in object mode. I'm going to say show hidden. Which didn't work because I need to press my / on my number pad key. There we go. Oh, and we need to assign. We need to copy that material. Let's do. Interesting, it gives us a nice look on that though, that other ball. So let's try. I've still not figured out this. Okay, well what we could do is we could just go to here. Can we copy to selected? Wrong way round. Let's try copy material to selected. Yeah, that's better. So now we can copy that material to our other. So let's do copy material to selected. There we go. Let's fix that. And we just need to delete those textures off that one. And we just need to duplicate this. So in object mode we can do make sure we've got snapping enabled. We can do Shift and D and move it. We're going to move it on the Y axis, so G and then Y, move it up. See if we can get that to snap nicely. So G and Y. Come on, there we go. Yep, that's snapped now. So yeah, so okay, that's our kind of edging done. I think I'll leave it there because I know the video's droning on a bit and we don't really want to create too long a video. So I'll thank you for watching and keep your eye on the channel, give it a like and subscribe if you haven't, and take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.